Wake up, Rip City, because you have your first All-Star in a few years. Deni Avdija has been named to the NBA All-Star team. He was named a Western Conference reserve today. And Gliss, man, I'm so excited. It's such a good feeling to have an All-Star back in Rip City. And so we had to hop on the mics. We usually don't do a weekend episode, but we had to hop on the mics today to give our flowers to our boy Deni. Super exciting for the Blazers. This is the Wake Up Rip City podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Alex Moore. Joined alongside me, it's Jay Gliss. Today on the show, we're going to talk about Deni, man. We're excited to talk about Deni, so we're going to talk about him, his season, and what it means to have an all-star wearing a Blazers uniform. And then we're also going to talk about that Blazers trade. The Blazers got a new sharpshooter, so super exciting. We'll talk about him, and then we'll kind of break down what the Blazers are looking for right now. It is kind of they have been kind of through a lull lately, so maybe the last thing we'll talk about is how they're playing, but we'll touch on that as well. Gliss, a different episode than normal. We're super excited. We always wake up on the right side of the bed. It's almost 4 p.m. here, so there's no waking up here, but we're excited. Deni and All-Star, what were your thoughts and feelings about that?
Well, first of all, speak for yourself. I just woke up, so because I gotta go.
My bad.
I've been working all weekend. I got a cup of coffee right here with me. I got up for that primetime television to see the All-Star reserves, and we were talking right before we got on. We were both getting a little nervous because I think he was, what was it, selection 5 out of 7 or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. So I was like, oh man, like, this is about to be a riot if with some of the numbers he's put up and where the Blazers are. Yeah, man, I think we've been talking about it for a while now, and I think everybody feels the same here in Rip City. It's like this guy deserves it. He has been the rock of this team. It's been a little tough lately just because obviously he's been dealing with some nagging injuries. Had a little bit of a scare the other night as well. So, yeah, things have been a little shaky for the Blazers the last week or so, but overall, if you look at the big picture, he has been the guy on a team that's been competitive most nights. I would say, 95% of the time, this team is right there and gives themselves a chance to win, and Deni is a big reason why.
And Gliss, you talked about his numbers this year. Let's just look at those real quick. Deni averaging 25.5 points per game, 7.2 rebounds per game, 6.7 assists per game. Just monster numbers coming from Deni. Huge leaps from last season in his first season as a Blazer, and even bigger leaps from when he was on the Washington Wizards. Apologies to Wizards fans. Deni shooting 47% from the field, 36% from three. He's averaging 34 minutes a game. The Blazers are 23-26. Of course, they were above 500. It seemed like just minutes ago, Gliss. They were above 500. Probably when those votes were coming in from the coaches for Deni for All-Star, they were above 500. They are not anymore, but they are still in that play-in race. So, Deni and All-Star. I thought, Gliss, maybe we could, it's only been a couple months this season, a few months so far, but, I thought we could maybe reminisce about our favorite games from Deni from this year and our favorite moments. And I'm going to take my favorite one, birthday triple-double from Deni against the Spurs in San Antonio on his birthday. He has 29, 11, and 10 as they beat the Spurs, and a huge step-back 3 in that game to put the Blazers up by 4. Just an awesome all-around game from Deni, and put away a really good San Antonio team. And that was just fun. The vibes were immaculate after that game, and super excited for him to have a triple-double on his birthday, man. Like, what else gets better than that? So that's one of my favorite Deni moments. Gliss, any moments come to mind?
Yeah, I got a couple. Unfortunately, two of these that kind of stand out were losses. They weren't like bad losses.
Oh, Gliss.
But one of them was the game I was at. The buzzer beater against the Chicago Bulls. He put up a triple-double, 32, 11, and 11. And then the other games I was looking at, because I was kind of combing through this last night at work, versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. It was an 8-point loss. They were, it was a close game, but 31 points, 10 assists, 19 rebounds. That's insane.
Whew.
Like that stat line is ridiculous. And then the other one that I'm going to give you that stuck out was it was a victory. It was in that back-to-back with the Houston Rockets, the first night of that back-to-back, where he had 41 points, 6 rebounds, and a couple assists. So yeah, I mean, there's lots of games to choose from. He's been putting up ridiculous stat lines all year, and I think one of the things that's fun about Deni is we've had some great players play for this this organization, and Dame, obviously one of the most beloved Blazers, Brandon Roy, going back to Clyde Drexler. I mean, they've had a lot of great players, but I don't know that we've ever had like this kind of flavor of player where it's like he could literally fill up any of those columns in the stat sheet. Like that 19 rebounds, like that's no joke. That's something that you see from guys like Donovan Clingan, who are 7'2" and command the paint. His passing, I think that's probably my favorite part of his game. I was, I'm only 5'7", so I was always more of a facilitator. So I love guys that have high basketball IQ that make plays for other guys on the court. So I think that's what really comes to mind for me for Deni. I love his playmaking ability. His ability to get to the line and score is obvious. I mean, he's pretty dominant in that aspect, but it's really those other columns that really impress me because he's able to do it all.
Yeah, Denny's got a whole foot on you, Gliss. He's 6'8", and to have that kind of height, and then to have his ability handling the ball and the shot creating that he has, and I think we've seen an added flair to his game when it comes to his passes and his ability to finish at the rim, and just kind of his overall mindset playing the game of basketball is, I think, so unique for a player at that size. And we've seen that kind of in the NBA with players like Luka Doncic, and so I mean he's got that kind of skill set to be able to handle the ball at that level, to score at that level, and then to pass. I mean, almost 7 assists a game is insane. Is no joke for a forward, for a wing. Yeah. And like you touched on the rebounds too. So like you said, filling up the stat sheet is incredible for a player like him. And I mean, when he was drafted by the Washington Wizards, man, I don't think they envisioned him having this complete of a game at this age too. The guy's still so young and he's got so much ahead of him. And oh my gosh, his contract is such a steal. I feel bad. It's such a steal that I feel bad. This guy will be paid less money next year than he's getting paid this season. He has a declining contract. That is insane. It's theft. It's stealing. It's horrible. But in terms of NBA capped, terms, it's good for the Blazers, and it gives them some flexibility to bring in some guys, because Deni should be getting paid on probably a max contract. I mean, we're talking about his level of skill, and he will be getting a max contract in the future too. So, Gliss, anything else to touch on? I think we're both just happy right now. I think it's just joy. It's just like, hey, the Blazers have an all-star. That's nice. Gives me a reason to watch the all-star game. To be honest, the all-star game hasn't been that great of late. Has never really been that great, honestly, for me. But when a Blazer's in it, it just brings a level of excitement. It makes me want to watch and just see how Deni's going to look out there and play out there.
Yeah, for sure. It's just, you just feel good for the guy. Especially, there's something special about a first-time All-Star, and the fact that the Blazers haven't had an All-Star in several seasons. We've kind of been in this long-term rebuild. So, yeah, it's an exciting day to be a Blazer fan, and it's something to enjoy. And then I do want to say, like, you brought up his contract, and I think this will kind of segue a little bit into something else we're going to talk about, but there's been a lot of rumblings, with Drew Holiday and Jeremy Grant, and I've read a couple things out there that there is, some rumblings that a potential Blazer move would also kind of be connected to the fact that the Blazers would like to extend Deni on a longer-term deal that, kind of striking while the iron's hot, kind of locking that in. So I think that's something to watch if they do move one of those big contracts with the deadline looming on Thursday.
Yeah, I mean that's a great point, Gliss, and that does bring me into our next segment here, which is the Blazers have made a trade. It was made official today, and now I have to pronounce a name that looks difficult, but actually isn't that difficult to pronounce. Vít Krejčí joins the Blazers from the Atlanta Hawks. The Blazers send 2 second-round picks and duop reath to Atlanta. They send back Vít Krejčí. He is a shooter, man. I've been watching highlights this morning. He's shooting over 40% from three. He's 6'8". He can handle the ball. I'm like, oh my God, like what does he not do? Like, tell me some bad things about him. I'm like, how is this trade happening? And you know what? The ultimate test of a trade, when a trade is good, is when the Atlanta Hawks fans are pissed about it. And they are not happy with this trade. They don't understand why they did it. It looks like the Hawks were looking for some flexibility. Duop Reath's contract is an expiring one this season, so obviously that gives them some options financially. And then they get some assets with those 2 second-round picks. But this guy's a player, man. And not only is he a player, he's a rotation player. This guy will be getting minutes off the Blazers bench, it seems, obviously. And he adds that ball handling aspect the Blazers have struggled with this season, especially with the availability of Drew Holiday and Scoot Henderson. So this is a huge win for the Blazers. It looks like Joe Cronin is back to his ways of dealing, man. I was excited when I saw this deal, Gliss.
I absolutely love it. You're basically not giving very much up. Shout out to Reath. It's he's done some cool things as a Blazer. Seems like a cool guy, but to move someone like that's typically at the end of your bench, like you said, expiring contract, to upgrade your roster as it stands now. Everybody, it's no secret, they're last in the league in 3-point shooting, and they still shoot a lot of them. So getting So getting someone that is that efficient, I think I saw he's averaged like over 39% over the last 4 seasons from the 3-point line. I think he's 19th in the league right now in 3-point percentage. So yeah, sharpshooter, a guy that can come in and do something that the Blazers have been severely lacking this season, and to not give up that much. And it's also like a testament to why when you go into a rebuild, I think it just kind of highlights why it's so important that they did kind of, once they decided to pivot that way after Dame, why it's so important to stick with it. We've seen it have results in places like Oklahoma City, where it's like if you really commit to it and you look at the long-term picture, good things will happen, because this is why you acquire assets. And, now they have some of these assets at their disposal. They're getting into the territory where, they've acquired a lot of draft picks, but they don't necessarily want to use a lot of draft picks going forward, because especially in a place like Portland where it's hard to get free agents, they have these tools at their disposal now to go out and make deals and upgrade the roster. And I think this is also a sign. Obviously, this isn't a huge deal, nothing ground shaking in terms of the league. But for the Blazers, it's clearly an upgrade. You're barely giving up anything, and I think it's also an indication that the Blazers will be active throughout the week, which, as we talked about in the last episode, is just exciting to see kind of how things shape out in the next 4 or 5 days.
Did you watch any highlights, Gliss?
I did, yeah. I did. I'm excited.
I was like, whoa. Well, it's like, the classic Vít Krejčí was a problem. Like, you can put together any highlight mix of any player, and it's like,
right.
You can make them look good, right? But I was like, damn, these highlights are all like nice looking threes, like great passing. He looks good handling the ball. He's got a little flair. I'm just like, oh, this is exactly what this team needs. I was like, exactly what this team needs. Also, he was drafted by the Washington Wizards in 2020. Do you know what other player was drafted by the Washington Wizards in 2020?
Ouch.
Deni
Like,
Avdija.
yeah, I knew where you were going. I was like, I didn't even want to say it because I just feel like we're just like shitting on Wizards fans or something.
Sorry, Wizards fans. But yeah. Anything to add on the trade, Gliss? Any final thoughts?
No, like I said, just I think it's a great. I don't know how you could look at it and say it's a bad. Like for what they gave up, it was essentially not. They basically just upgraded their roster in a position where they really really needed it. And again, it just gives me, kind of gets my juices flowing a little bit to see, what happens in the next couple of days, because I think it indicates that they will be active whether they make another deal or not. I think they're definitely going to be players at the trade deadline.
All right. Speaking of getting some juices flowing, Gliss, we've got an announcement here at the Wake Up RipCity podcast, and we're so excited. Obviously, we've been over the moon with all the listeners that we've got, all the comments that we've got on the videos, and just it's been more than we ever thought. And I know there's more room to grow, and we'll continue to grow. But we're just loving making these podcasts, making these videos on YouTube, and we're having such a blast. I never thought we'd get to this point, Gliss, but we got our first sponsor. We got our first sponsorship, and I wanna introduce you guys to Portland Spicy Peanut Butter. They are official friend of the show, official sponsor of the Wake Up RipCity podcast, Gliss. So let me tell you about this, Gliss. This is hand-roasted small batch peanut butter made with no added sugar or oil. It's always packaged in glass and ground directly into the jar for the freshest peanut butter experience. This is some of the best peanut butter that I've ever had, Gliss. And it's local. It's located here in Portland. I'm getting you a jar. I'm going to make sure you got to get some of this stuff because I got some of it now, and you got to try this. It's fantastic. You can use our code, WakeUpRipCity. If you use WakeUpRipCity on the website, you get 15% off of any order, and then you get free delivery to any Portland address. So this is a local Portland company. And so, yeah, Portland Spicy Peanut Butter, Gliss. It's our first sponsor, man. This is exciting. So use our code. Go buy some peanut butter. Support the pod. All the money that you spend on this peanut butter, when we will turn that into money for this podcast. We will send it back to the podcast and make sure that we're continuing to make this podcast better. So go buy some peanut butter, Gliss.
Yeah. I haven't tried it yet, so I'm excited to try it because I like anything that's spicy, and from my understanding, there's both the regular spicy and then there's like the elevated one. Yeah, so that's what I want to try. That's what I need right there.
So this is the Reaper edition. So yeah. So I mean, and I think, Gliss, we got to do something with this peanut butter. Like I tried it a while ago, but I don't remember how spicy it is. So I think we got to do a pod eating the Reaper peanut butter. I think that is a call. Like I think next Blazer goes off for 40. We give them the Reaper edition player of the week or player of the month, and we got to do a pod on the Reaper edition. I think that's only fair. So I think that's coming next.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, use that code Wake Up RipCity, no spaces, on that website. 15% off any order, and then free delivery as well. So this will come to your door, hand delivered to your door for free if you have a Portland address. So. Super exciting. So, awesome, Gliss. We got an all-star. Blazers got an all-star. This is fantastic. I'm super happy. I'm going to the game in 2 hours, Gliss. Blazers Cavs in 2 hours. So I'm excited for that. Cavs, of course, also made a trade, so they'll be without DeAndre Hunter. I think they have a couple other guys on the injury report. We'll see who the Blazers have. If Deni is playing tonight, I'm not sure if he is, but I don't know if that's been announced yet. So we'll see about that. But Gliss, anything to add before we hop off here?
No, just excited about the little partnership right there because it is cool to have someone local that's kind of wanting to partner with us and get involved in the show.
Yeah.
Thanks to the community out there, that's tuning in, and hell yeah, man, Deni's an all-star. I think we all saw it coming, and we were about to jump on the mic and raise hell if he wasn't selected.
Yeah, I was ready. I
was ready too. But yeah, super excited for Deni. It's great for the organization, and it kind of feels like one of those moments where the Blazers feel like they're kind of back on the map a little bit. So. It's cool to see this thing growing. This team, how competitive they are, and to have a solidified all-star on the roster is a great thing. It's very exciting.
And yeah, just one more thing before we log off. Vít Krejčí did post on his Instagram. He posted a new chapter, Let's Get It Portland. So just excited to welcome him here to RipCity. It'll be fun. And huge thank you to Duop Reath. Had some fantastic fun moments as a Trailblazer. And so he was always awesome and fun to watch. So, all right, that's it for the Wake Up RipCity podcast. It's a special Sunday edition of the show, Sunday afternoon or Gliss's morning, whatever floats your boat, you know. But we're excited to be here. Deni Avdija, an NBA All-Star, first time. He'll be playing in the All-Star game later this month. We will see you this week. We'll be back on our regularly scheduled programming, reacting to all the Blazers basketball that you need. So we'll be back, and we'll see you next time.